The FTX drama just continues. Last video I mentioned how we don't know what the fallout is going to be from FTX and the lack of takeover from CZ and Binance. And we've got two actual evidence of that in terms of the fallout continuing. I want to share those two with you today. All right. So first one here is this is from BlockFi. So BlockFi is an exchange. It's actually an exchange that I used to use when I first started. I was on here because they gave incredible rates for their yield, but they had issues and were going to go under, and FTX was coming in to quote unquote save the day. So everything that's happened now, here's what they said. They sent out this little letter here. We are shocked and dismayed by the news regarding FTX and Alameda. We, like the rest of the world, found out about the situation through Twitter. Given the lack of clarity on the status of FTX.com, FTX US and Alameda, we're not able to operate business as usual. Our priority has been and will continue to be to protect our clients and their interests. Until there's further clarity, we are limiting platform activity, including pausing client withdrawals as allowed under our terms. And they go on to say some more things here about specifics, and then they said we request that clients not deposit to BlockFi wallet or interest accounts at this time. And then we intend to communicate as frequently as possible going forward, but anticipate this will be less frequent than what our clients and other stakeholders are used to. So pretty bad, right? BlockFi saying, hey, look, we're cutting off all withdrawals. They said activity, for the most part, they're talking about withdrawals. So you can't take anything off the platform. And that's one of the reasons why they say don't deposit on the platform as well, because if you do it now, forget about it. You're not going to see it. So this whole thing about communication, I mean, what are they going to say now? There's no indication that you're going to get your assets. And even if you do, will you get pennies on the dollar? And when will that even happen? Who knows, right? So it's a pretty big mess. So BlockFi, which looked like it was about to be saved, things were in the clear, and I hope people took their assets off of BlockFi, when they got saved by FTX, just because it's another example of you don't know what's going to happen with these central exchanges. And if they go under, they can always, and that's the thing with centralized exchanges, because it's central, meaning some entity owns it and controls it, your crypto is not yours. So they can suspend your account, they can delete your account, they can do whatever they want, but they are in custody of your assets, which means they own it. So this was a pretty big news here that BlockFi said, no, cancel. We're not doing anything like that. Now, what is interesting with FTX is that they're also involved with a lot of projects and launch pads, and meaning they have helped projects, list their coins onto the platform. And, with respect to compensation, they've done all kinds of things. But one entity in particular, which is a trading entity, actually locked up a big chunk of its capital onto FTX itself. And they're called Genesis. So I actually want to share that with you guys as well. So here you go. Genesis, as part of our goal in providing transparency around this week's market events, the Genesis derivatives business currently has $175 million in locked funds in our FTX trading account. So this particular project was using FTX for trading. And it says this does not impact our market making activities. They go on to say that furthermore, our operating capital and net positions in FTX are not material to our business. Really? 175 million and not material? I see that's pretty material, pretty significant. Circumstances surrounding FTX have not impeded the full functioning of our trading franchise. Now, is that true? Is that not true? I don't know. But 175 million is a pretty big chunk of change. And what seems to be the pattern that continues to this day is as soon as an entity that's in trouble says they're fine, they're not fine. Celsius said they were fine, they're not fine. BlockFi said they're fine, they're not fine. FTX said that they're fine, they're not fine. And now Genesis is saying they're not fine. Now, again, I don't know if they are or not, but to me, 175 million is pretty material. So, look, at the end of the day, who knows what else is about to happen? What we do know is that Sam Bankman-Fried took $10 billion and loaned it from FTX to Alameda Research, which was basically his hedge fund, and accepted his own tokens back as collateral. Worthless. So they kind of destroyed each other. I mentioned this in my last video. They're all friends. That's his inner circle that runs both FTX Exchange and Alameda Research. And it is not good. And here's the funny thing. After all this has happened, all the Ponzi schemes that Sam Bankman-Fried has admitted to running, his response is, I'm sorry. I could do better. What he could do is go to jail, because that's extremely criminal. And my heart goes out to anyone who's had their assets locked up on FTX platform and involved in any shape or form with FTX or Alameda Research. Unbelievable. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the end of it.